Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, where we aim to provide journalists with an update on the latest developments at the court and the opportunity to ask questions. In the case of Hashim Thaçi, Kadri Veseli, Recep Selimi, and Jakub Krasniqi, the trial panel on 23rd October ordered a reduction of the deadline for filing requests for the admission into evidence of all materials not linked to witness testimony. The previous deadline had been set for 1 week after the last witness testified in the respective case. The panel noted that several court days could not be used because certain defense witnesses were unavailable. It further observed that additional time had been granted to the Thaçi defense to accommodate these witnesses. The panel emphasized the importance of making full use of this additional time while recalling that it should not prejudice the rights of the other accused or the interest of victims by causing undue delay to the trial. Accordingly, the panel revised the deadline for filing requests for the admission of evidence not linked to witness testimony, so-called bar table motions, to no later than 3rd November. It further ordered that any responses to such motions be filed by 10th November. The panel noted that should the defense demonstrate good cause for filing additional bar table motions after 3rd November 2025, it would give such requests due consideration to avoid any prejudice to the defense. The panel instructed the Thaçi defense to explore all available means to ensure that proposed witnesses are available for all scheduled court days and to bring other witnesses forward if needed. In cases where travel difficulties might cause delays, the panel advised considering testimony via video link. The Thaçi defense was ordered to provide an update on these efforts by Wednesday, 29th October. On 28 October, the trial panel granted a request by the Thaçi defense to add certain items related to 2 witness statements to its exhibits list. The panel found these items relevant to the charges and determined that their probative value was not outweighed by any potential prejudice, given that the parties will have the opportunity to cross-examine the relevant witnesses in relation to this evidence. The panel ordered the Thaçi defense to file an amended exhibits list by 31st October and instructed the registrar to reclassify the request as public 1 week after the testimony of the last witness. On 23rd October, the trial panel rejected a request by the Thaçi defense to amend the protocol governing contact with witnesses. The defense had argued that since the prosecution had closed its case, it would be disproportionately burdened compared to the prosecution and Mr. Thaçi's co-accused in the case concerning alleged witness interference if it continued to be bound by the protocol when contacting witnesses testifying in both cases. The panel recalled its previous findings that the current proceedings have been conducted in an environment of witness interference and intimidation, and that the risk of such interference or of witnesses recanting their testimony cannot be entirely eliminated even after they have testified. The panel further noted that Mr. Thaçi has been charged with offenses related to witness interference. Given that the trial is still ongoing, the panel determined that the safeguards and protections established in the contact protocol remain necessary and continue to apply in this case. In the case of Hashim Thaçi, Izni Kilay, Bashkim Smakay, Fadil Fazliu, and Hayreddin Kuchi concerning allegations of the illegal influencing of witnesses, the appeals panel on 28 October decided on Mr. Thaçi's appeal against the pretrial judge's decisions on the Thaçi's defense's preliminary motions regarding jurisdiction and the adjournment and severance of proceedings. By way of background, in May this year, Mr. Thaçi filed 2 preliminary motions. In the first, he requested the adjournment of proceedings in this case until the conclusion of proceedings in the war crimes case as holding two concurrent trials against him would result in overlapping findings and violate defense fair trial rights. Arguing that a delay would impede his co-accused's right to an expeditious trial, he also sought to have his case severed from that of his co-accused. In a second motion, he challenged the jurisdiction of the pretrial judge, asserting that all matters related to the war crimes case, including the alleged witness interference, should be handled by the trial panel presiding over the case. He further contested the legality of the same person serving both as single judge and pretrial judge in this matter. The pretrial judge had dismissed both preliminary motions, emphasizing that the two cases are clearly separate, involving different accused persons, different alleged crimes, and a different temporal scope. Regarding her dual role as single judge and pretrial judge, she explained that the assignment of judges lies solely with the authority of the president. If the Thaci defense believed there were grounds for her disqualification, it should have followed the procedure outlined in the Rules of Procedure and Evidence, raising the matter directly with the president within the prescribed time frame. In its recent decision, the appeals panel upheld the pretrial judge's reasoning in full in both decisions, concluding that the Thaci defense had failed to demonstrate any error in her findings. That was all from me. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to respond.